Hey yo, welcome back to the Slowpoke World, and I haven't got a Vivid Voltage deck for you today. I've actually got a Battle Styles deck. Now I know it's really early days still, we've still got a lot of set to see, but there's no harm in having a little look and seeing how these decks could be panning out in the not too distant future. So today I've got the single strike Urshifu. Now I'm under no illusion, I do think the multi-strike, liquid strike, whatever is the better card, but man oh man, I just love the aesthetic of the single strike. He looks really strong, and that's why I chose to build this one first. So let's have a look. Many thanks to Ethan Terry who sent me over his list, and I sort of had a little look and changed some stuff from his list. So many shout outs to him. So let's have a look at our build around then. So we have Urshifu VMAX single strike, VMAX Pokemon 330 HP with 2 attacks, beat down 3,400. Now, in all honesty, initially I was a bit sad by this attack, but it does actually help bring in everything into range for your second attack. G-Max 1 blow for 4 energy, you do 270. You have to discard all energy from this Pokemon, unfortunately though, but it goes through all effects on the opponent's active, so it's a really costly way of dealing with Decidueyes and all that good stuff. But we've actually got some way to manipulate that damage and hopefully try and creep us into the one-shot range with a couple with a new attack as well that we'll get to in a little bit. But that's our build around. Big scary geese. All we're trying to do is just carry 2 things with this guy, baby. We don't want to be seeing 2 5s. Well, if we see 2 5s, we just eject them from the game anyway. And 3 5s, we want to try and ideally go for the one-shot wherever possible. Our Evolving V, our single strike Urshifu V, is actually a really cool card. And it makes me wonder if you can do a memory capsule version of this build. I actually think that might have some merit to it. Let's have a look anyway. So we've got a single strike Urshifu V to a basic Pokemon 220 HP. With 2 attacks, laser focus. Search your deck for 2 fighting energy cards and attach them to this Pokemon. That's a really cool attack. If you go in second, I mean, you can already see getting to that G-Max 1 blow now is going to be a lot more easier. We've got ways of accelerating some energy as well. And you've got Impact Blow 3 for 180. This Pokemon can't use Impact Blow next turn. So, yeah, pretty cool card. And honestly, that one Impact Blows, 180, I guess you can quickly try and dispatch like a Dedenne or a Crobat with that. 180s, I mean, it's a 2-shot, but it's not really our build around, is it? But really good. That laser focus is a top attack. I am a fan. So now we've got 2 of this new Houndoom, okay? Now ignore these Houndour. I don't know what the Houndour is going to be from this set, and if we do know, I haven't seen them yet, so I'm just using some random Houndour. They don't tend to be too impactful. But yeah, here's the Houndoom. Stage 1 Pokemon, 130 HP. Single strike Pokemon, I should say. There's all single strike. With the ability Single Strike Raw, once in your turn, you can search your deck for a single strike energy card, attach it to one of your single strike Pokemon, and shuffle your deck. If you put damage onto the Pokemon that you, if you attach energy, I should say, to a Pokemon, put 2 damage counters on there. So this is our acceleration. If we have 2 Houndooms out, it doesn't say anything about once per turn, right? Or you can only use one of these per turn, I should say. So you get 2 of these out. You can accelerate 2 energies for G-Max 1 blow, and then bang. So that's the idea. We have to discard loads, but don't forget, we have got Rose or Bay. We're using Rose in this build. So if we can start back-to-back in G-Max 1 blow, it seems rather strong to me. So Houndoom, you could easily see a thicker line. For now, I'm going to try a 2-2 because we've got Rose to fall back on in this build as well. I can easily see that potentially becoming more of a build around. Because we are a Rose deck, we are going to play some Sylvalies to fill our hand afterwards. Sylvally GX. Stage 1 Pokemon 210 HP with the ability Disc Reload. Once in your turn, you may draw a card to have 5 in your deck. The idea is if we use Rose, we can just draw back up, and I guess it gives us an alternate attacker with Brave Buddies, 50 plus 70 if you play supporter. Probably we won't be using that too much, but it is what it is. Sylvali's going to give us another draw engine for the most part, and Sylvally and Rose decks is a godsend when you get them out, let me tell you. And then our support Pokemon lineup, 1 of each, 1 Eldegoss, 1 Dedenne, 1 Crobat. Reason being, because we are a Rose deck, we are going to be ditching our hand an awful lot. Chances are we might be getting rid of bosses or researchers or other Roses potentially. Eldegoss lets us bring those back. Crobat, because I find a lot of time in Rose decks, we'll have some part of the puzzle, but not the whole puzzle in our hand, right? And then the Crobat will just help us, try and find multiple parts of the puzzle. And then because we all know Dedenne, it's just rather good, isn't it? Let's have a look at our supporters then. So yeah, we got 4 Rose to start off with. Rose is a really cool supporter for any VMAX Pokemon, especially Pokemon that are discarding their hand to attack, discarding their energies to attack, I should say. So let's have a look. Rose, attach 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your VMAX Pokemon. If you attach energy in this way, discard your hand. So you can see the synergy now, right? We discard our energies with G-Max Womblow. We can Rose, and then you can either attach one from hand and then use a Houndoom, and then we are good to go with G-Max Womblow again, right? That's the idea. Or, you know, 2 Houndooms, anything like this. So it is possible to go back-to-back G-Max Womblow. That's what we're trying to do with this build here. Obviously, you have to discard our hand. That's where we got Silvally. And then, spoiler alert, we've actually got 2 Rose Tower, which lets us draw to have 3 cards in our hand. So if we haven't quite got the Silvally developed, we can go for Rose Tower, a little bit of a baby version. And these could be some flex spots. You could try and, you could argue that beefing out the Silvally line is arguably stronger. I'm not against that, but sometimes being able to just draw some cards with Rose Tower was kind of helpful. And then we got Professor's Research, really, really nice. You know, discard draw 7, best supporter in the game. There's no doubt about it. Even when we want to use it, even when we're not using Leon. You know what I mean? Just we have to get our combo pieces, so we get down multiple basics turn 1. Professor's Research is the best way to do that, and find our other cards in our deck. And we got 1 Boss's Orders. Now space is really tight in here, and I do find that with multiple Boss's Orders in a Rose deck, you know, you do end up throwing them away for the most part. We just want to just nuke whatever's in our act here in a way anyway. So we're going to go for 1 Boss's Orders, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, one thing to know about the stagings, I should say, if you want to try this with Dojo, I want to try that as well. But for now, this is like the most consistent version of the list that I can build. So I'm going to try this out first. If I find myself not using Rose Tower, or I find myself beefing up the Silvally line for whatever reason, then these can become Dojos. If they become Dojos, you are all of a sudden really swinging into Oko range with that G-Max Womblow very easily. So worth considering for sure. 4 Quick Ball, best card in the game. You know, letting you discard a card from your hand, so to satisfy Rose for the most part, right? Also lets you find all your basics, because we play a lot of basics. We just get down Houndooms, Type Nulls, Urshifu Vs, and then potentially get our Crobat, Dedenne, or Eldegoss. So all of them are basic Pokemon, so we need those Quick Balls. We actually do play a lot of Pokemon Search though. We've got 4 Pokemon Communications. Again, we've got a lot of stuff we need to find, right? Urshifu VMAX, Urshifu Vs, Houndooms, Titan, stuff like. We have to realistically get 3 stage 1s out. So we need all the search we can get. That's why we play 3 Pokecoms, as well as 3 Evolution Incense as well, for that exact reason. Because there's nothing worse than having a Rose in your hand and just a Type Null. Because then you just like, oh boy, I'm gonna have to discard my hand now and hope that I draw something good at some point. If we just max out these Pokemon searches, hopefully it'll be fine, right? Alright, now here's one of the newer cards, right? I don't know what it's called, Exploding Pot or whatever. Basically what it does, it lets you get 2 single strike cards from your discard pile and put them back into your deck. So this is rather cool because this acts as like an ordinary rod built in. Like it's like a better ordinary rod because it lets us get back our special energies. And let's actually talk about those now. These are like strong energies. These are single strike energies. So these are the energies that Houndoom can attach, right? So the combination here is we can discard these strong energies, or single strike energies, I should say, and then this part will let us put them back into deck, and we can Houndoom them back. What this single strike energy does, though, is really cool. It provides either fighting or a dark, right? Only one at a time. But the Pokemon it's attached to do an extra 20, and it stacks. So it basically is like a strong energy reprint for that in that respect. So we have 2 of these. You know, we're doing 2 now. We're doing 310 with G-Max Womblow, and you can see already. Any sort of, we just chip them a tiny bit. G-Max Womblow is taking ridiculous one-shot. So there's the synergy there. We've actually got one more single strike card that's pretty cool. We got ourselves to the scroll, single strike scroll. I'm not sure what it's called. Basically, it's a tool card, all right? And what it does, when it's attached to a single strike Pokemon, the single strike Pokemon it's attached to can do this attack. This attack is for 1 fighting energy, 10 plus 10 for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So without Dojo, G-Max Womblow isn't quite taking one shot on its own, unless you get super high rolly with the single strike energies, right? So the idea is you can soften them up with Beatdown, or you can soften them up with the Revenge attack. I can't remember what I called it, but big old punch, I think. I'm not sure. But either way, soften them up first, soften up everything, and G-Max Womblow can come through with that power. 2 air balloons just for our Silvally, just to give them free retreat, because you know they've got a 2 retreat cost. you know, on the back of the knockouts, we can just promote something with an air balloon. You got a free retreat, nothing to moan about there. And then I think it was 8 basic fightings, I should say. Let's have a look. It's been a while since I used tabletop. Yeah, 8 basic fighting energies to round off the list. You have to play relatively a few, just because we have to get them in the bin for rows. So yeah, let me know what you think. I think there's a few ways you can play this Urshifu. To be fair with you, Dojo's one way I want to try. You know, Zigzagoon band nets, I should say, is another way. There's a fair few ways. I think this is the most consistent version. I'm going to take this through some games. I'll try and record them for you as well, and we can just see like how reliable this GMAX 1 Below is and how good it is at winning games. Thanks for watching though. If you're after more of this stuff, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be pumping out many more of these battle style decks, sort of science again, early look at how these decks can look. So, and if you guys want to prox them, you got some good starting lists. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.